Born on the 18th of April 1974, Edgar Wright is currently 44 years old and is at the peak of his movie-based success. He was born in Poole, Dorset, and became highly interested in movies at a very young age. Throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, he directed a variety of short films on his at-home camera, starting on a Super 8 camera and later on a Video 8 camera. With such an early start in the movie industry, he went on to an amazing career, along with an outstanding reputation for said movies. In many of his movies, you may notice reoccurrences throughout them. One you could have spotted is a scene where Simon Pegg, who appears in several of Edgar's movies, attempts to jump a fence, but to his embarrassment, the fence falls, bringing Simon with it. Another reoccurrence you see is any of the characters eating. You can tell the same setting, which is a pub, is used and always plays a big part, like in The World's End, where the pubs are the main focus in the storyline. Speaking of The World's End, there are in fact some incredible factors of lighting and colours within the setting used. Throughout the scene there is a constant light gleaming down on Gary King as he is giving an inspirational speech. This gives the effect that Gary is being looked down upon and as if they're being overpowered by whatever it is that is talking down to them. It also uses greyish and bluish colours which contrasts their mood as tense and almost frightened. Another movie where all of the actors are frightened is Shaun the Dead. And in one particular scene you're almost struck back by the creativity of the sounds used. In the scene they are attempting to fight off a zombie after it enters the pub they were hiding in. They are trying to fight it off with pool table sticks, which of course wouldn't work in any case. As they begin beating the zombie, the song Don't Stop Me Now begins playing, and they're now hitting the zombie in time with the beat of the song. This creates an energy in the scene of determination to save themselves. The scene One Tap Water from The World's End also strikes huge amounts of creativity through the comedy-based scenario. In the scene, Gary King orders 5 beers but is shortly taken back after another group member says they want a tap water instead. After this, you see a glass being filled with beer from the bottom of the glass. This repeats 4 times, and on the 5th, the glass is filled with water. It is a very sudden change, and after this you see the water in the glass going down to reveal Gary looking shocked and almost upset about his friend drinking water instead of beer like everyone else. This type of creativity throughout the scene is not very common in other movies and is a very unique style for Edgar Wright.
What's King Arthur got to do with it?
Along the lines of unique styles, in the scene Move to Sanford from the movie Hot Fuzz, is an example of creative editing. At the start of the scene, he is seen waiting for his taxi. When it arrives, we see the taxi light switch off. As soon as it turns off, light comes back to the screen and he is now standing in the middle of a train, holding the plant he was when waiting for the taxi. The light blinks again and the same transition to where he is next happens over and over until he is at the end of his journey. Throughout said journey, same face expression. You would not find this kind of editing or even scene idea in any other movie, and this is why it stands out so much. With all of Edgar's movie success, it is clear to see why he has so much success in this industry. It will be interesting to see if this really is the peak of his career or if it will go even further.